There is no doubt that Trump has no genuine reason for imposing additional tariffs on Indian products. Experts have cited four main reasons for the rift between Trump and Modi. The world is discussing why U.S. President Donald Trump imposed the highest tariff on India. People in the U.S. are also worried about Indian goods becoming costlier after the tariff was enforced. Trump's advisors are adding fire to the flames. His trade advisor Peter Navarro went to the extent of labeling the Russia-Ukraine conflict as Modi's war. Another of his close advisors, Kevin Hassett, U.S. National Economic Council Director, accused India of intransigence in opening up its markets for American products. Hassett said, "If the Indians don't budge, I don't think President Trump will." Peter Navarro, after criticizing India for purchasing crude from Russia, remarked on India's thaw in relations with China. He said, "India, you are getting in bed with authoritarians. China invaded Oxai Chin and all your territory. They are not your friends. And Russia, come on." Navarro alleged that the Russia-Ukraine conflict is Modi's war, saying the road to peace runs partly right through New Delhi. In other words, he was saying, if India stops buying crude from Russia, the U.S. will withdraw its additional tariff on India and the Ukraine conflict will come to an end. The trade advisor's logic does not carry weight, because another Trump advisor said, India refused to open up its agriculture and dairy sectors because of high U.S. tariffs. Since both Modi and Trump have adopted inflexible stands, the way out appears to be complicated. There is no doubt that Trump has no genuine reason for imposing additional tariffs on Indian products. Purchase of Russian oil is being projected as an excuse. Trump has himself admitted that the U.S. is earning profit by selling weapons for the Ukraine conflict. Experts have cited four main reasons for the rift between Trump and Modi. Reason 1: in July 2019, when the then Pakistani PM Imran Khan went to the U.S., he was told by Trump that Modi had asked him to mediate on Kashmir. Modi expressed unhappiness over Trump's remark, and it was clearly conveyed to the White House that India will not accept any third-party role for solving the Kashmir issue. Reason 2: during the U.S. presidential election, Modi had sought time to meet both the candidates, Trump and Kamala Harris. Trump gave him time and he announced this at one of his rallies, saying that Modi was coming to meet him, but at the last moment, Kamala Harris backed out. Modi felt it would be unwise to meet only one party's candidate. He cancelled his appointment with Trump, who took it amiss. Reason 3: Trump claimed 42 times that he brokered the India-Pakistan ceasefire. India has clarified several times that the ceasefire offer was accepted at Pakistan's request, but Trump was unwilling to listen. Reason 4: Trump and Modi were supposed to meet in Canada on the sidelines of G7 summit, but Trump left the summit midway and returned to the U.S. He rang up Modi and invited him to come to the White House. At the same time, Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir was supposed to meet Trump for dinner at the White House. Naturally, Modi declined Trump's invite. This got Trump's goat. Experts say that because of these four main reasons, Trump decided to target India on the tariff issue. On the German newspaper Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung's report that Trump made 4 telephone calls to Modi, but the Indian Prime Minister did not agree to speak to him. There is no official confirmation. But reports say, Trump has been calling world leaders on his personal phone number, which he had shared with them, including Modi. During his first tenure, Trump had shared his personal number with Modi, but after becoming president again, Trump changed his phone numbers on the advice of security agencies. Probably, Trump made calls from his new number to Modi, and since it was an unknown number, the Indian Prime Minister did not receive Trump's calls. One thing is clear. Trump's problem with India is not only because of India's purchasing Russian oil. The US and European countries are still providing huge support to Ukraine, and India's oil purchase from Russia is just minuscule. Trump's problem is so big that he made Asim Munir his friend and opted to embarrass Modi by joining the ceasefire issue with the tariff. It is because of this big reason that he imposed the highest tariff on India and did not keep his old friendship with India in mind. Trump gave concessions to China, whom he considered the US's biggest rival. There can be only one reason behind this: Narendra refused to surrender. Modi refused to bow down to the US demands. Trump has underestimated Modi. Trump has his own style of working. He speaks to the media on a daily basis and says whatever he feels about any head of state. He makes big announcements through his posts on social media. He speaks to world prime ministers and presidents directly over his mobile phone. None of the US presidents ever did so. Now, even the Americans are saying that Trump is only a traitor, a deal maker. That is why India will have to explore new ways and methods of dealing with Trump, and I believe the work is on. Electoral politics in Bihar has now entered the level of gutter language. On Wednesday, Rahul Gandhi used mean language about Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Bihar, and on Thursday, Congress workers shouted abusive slogans against Modi's late mother from the dais in Bethali, Darbhanga. A stage was erected in Bethali, but both Rahul Gandhi and Tejashi Yadav did not use the stage to address during their vote at Hikar Yatra. There were several thousand Congress and RJD supporters present. Suddenly, a local Congress worker, Mohammad Rizvi, started shouting abusive slogans against Modi on the mic. He egged on his supporters to shout slogans abusing Modi's late mother. There were local leaders present on the dais when this incident took place, but none of them stopped such slogans. Local Youth Congress leader Muhammad Naushad Alam had arranged the dais. On Friday, police arrested Mohammad Rizvi for shouting abusive slogans against the Prime Minister. Top BJP leaders lambasted Rahul Gandhi in Congress over this incident. Home Minister Amit Shah said, "Shouting abusive slogans against the Prime Minister's late mother is a blot on our democracy." BJP President JP Nadda demanded a public apology from both Rahul Gandhi and Tejashi Yadav for this incident. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said, "Such abusive remarks reflect the real DNA of Congress." Recent electoral history is witness to the fact that whenever Congress abused Narendra Modi, it was Modi who benefited and Congress lost. Sonia Gandhi during her campaign in Gujarat had described Modi as Mount Ka Saudagar, merchant of death, and Congress was crushed at the electoral hustings. Congress then avoided mentioning the Gujarat riots. When Rahul Gandhi coined the slogan, "Chaukidar Chor Hai," it proved counterproductive for the Congress. Rahul's gambit failed. When Rahul Gandhi said, "Sir Modi Chor Hain," he had to face a court case and found it difficult to give a cogent reply. When Rahul Gandhi said, "Narendra surrender," the public disapproved such remark. The language that Rahul used against the Prime Minister on Wednesday will not get any support from the people of Bihar. The reason why abusive remarks have no impact on people is because of Modi's proven track record. Nobody can raise questions about Modi's patriotism. Secondly, Modi is a man who cannot be browbeaten. Thirdly, not a single charge of corruption can stick to Modi. Even his rivals admit the amount of labor that the Prime Minister puts in. This is the reason why abusing Modi will always prove counterproductive. There is no place for abuses and obscene remarks in Indian democracy. AAJ Ki Baat Monday to Friday, 9:00 p.m. India's #1 and most followed super primetime news show AAJ Ki Baat Rajat Sharma Kasaf was launched just before the 2014 general elections. Since its inception, the show has redefined India's super prime time and is numerically far ahead of its contemporary.